2015. The bookies looked at Leicester City and gave them 5,000 to 1 to win the league. To put that in perspective, you had better odds of finding Elvis pulling pints in your local, better odds of the Loch Ness Monster turning up in your bathtub, better odds of your apprentice showing up on time 3 Mondays in a row. 5,000 to 1. It's the kind of bet you make when you've had a few and you fancy losing a tenner. 9 months later, Leicester City were champions of England. No Ronaldo, no Messi, no £100 million signings. Just Jamie Vardy, a striker who'd been playing non-league football 5 years earlier. A midfielder most people hadn't heard of, a few lads other clubs didn't want, and a manager in a cardigan who'd been sacked from his last 3 jobs. So how did they do it? Shape, discipline. Everyone knew their job. In short, they had a playbook. And before you click off thinking, great, another football video, and they're not even my team, stick with me for 60 seconds. Because what Leicester did that year is the exact same thing that separates the trade business, making real money from the one barely keeping its head above water. It's not talent. It's not graft. It's not luck. It's the playbook. Now look at your week. Same hours, same effort, same standard of work. So why does it feel like you're running uphill in a pair of wellies? Phone going, customer chasing. One lad swears the materials were ordered. Another wants to know the plan. A third can't find the keys to the lockup. Someone wants a quick quote that eats half your evening. Somebody acting like it's their build is the Champions League final, and it's for a downstairs toilet install. Then they give you that classic line, the one that makes your stomach tighten. We're actually just getting a few prices. Of course you are. One bloke cheap, one bloke who'll vanish halfway through. You. And then the one bloke who sounds organised, gets back to the customer fast, sends a tidy quote, follows up 2 days later. Guess who nicks the job? 9 times out of 10, the organised one. Not the cheapest, not the best, the organised one. But that's just the outside. Here's what it actually feels like. It's Sunday afternoon. You should be watching football with the kids. Instead, you're on the sofa with your laptop trying to remember what you promised, who, by when, for how much. Wednesday evening, dinner's on the table, phone goes. You answer it. You always answer it. Because if you don't, something slips. A job, a delivery, a customer who just disappears. Now it's 3 a.m. You're staring at the ceiling, running the week back in your head. Did I order that? Did I send that quote? Did I confirm the skip? And the worst bit, you can't take a day off. Not properly. Because the second you stop moving, something falls over, and you're becoming a bottleneck in your own business. That's not a business. That's a hostage situation. And here's the kicker. That's basically Leicester's whole story. Just not the version you've heard. Before Ranieri turned up, they had talented players, hard workers, going nowhere, no shape, no plan. Sound familiar? Most trade businesses look at their week and see 10 different problems. Missed quote, late invoice, wrong materials, customer not updated, lads not briefed, phone ringing while you're up a ladder. 10 problems, 10 fires. So you try to fix 10 different things, and by Friday, half of them are back again. Here's the truth. It's not 10 problems. It's the same problem turning up wearing 10 different hats. The same goal getting conceded every week. Just wearing a different kit. And the root of it is this. Too much of the business lives in your head, which means nobody else can run it. The way you answer inquiries, the way you quote, the way you brief the lads, the way you handle problems, the way you order materials, the way you check a finish. All of it in your head. So the second you're not there, tired, off-site, ill, or just trying to have a weekend, the whole thing wobbles. That's not a people problem. That's not a graft problem. It's a shape problem. Loads of effort. No formation. One bloke trying to play centre-back, midfield and striker at the same time. Knackered by half-time. Leicester didn't fix it by signing better players. They fixed it with a playbook. Now, playbook. A pretty boring word, right? Sounds corporate. Sounds like clipboards and consultants and some bloke in shiny shoes who's never shifted a sheet of plywood in the rain. Forget that. A playbook is one thing. The agreed way we do a job. Round here. That's it. Ranieri's Leicester had one. They called it 4-4-2. 2 banks of 4. 2 up top. Simple shape. Everyone knew where to stand and what their job was. Once it was agreed, they could execute it without someone shouting instructions every 5 seconds. Your playbook is the same idea, just in work boots. It's how we answer an inquiry, how we quote, how we hand over a job, how we update the customer, how we invoice, how we hand over a job site or get agreement with the customer. The job is complete. Not a novel, not a binder, a simple page per process, a team sheet. And here's the bit that stings. If a process only happens because you remember it, it's not a playbook. It's a favor you keep doing yourself. Also, it's something you have to keep doing yourself. Every week, forever, until you crack. Now look at a lot of trade businesses. One guy is quoting, chasing materials, answering calls, sorting problems, updating customers, briefing the lads, fetching supplies, checking the finish, and still trying to actually do the work. That's not a business, that's a one-man team playing against 11. Tom runs a small building firm. 5 lads. Decent reputation. Constantly drowning. Every quote, every job start, every customer call, all going through Tom. One Tuesday, Tom takes his phone out, films himself walking through how he does a quote. 5 minutes. Just talks it through like he's teaching an apprentice. Saves the file. Calls it How We Quote. Drops it in a shared folder or somewhere he can find it easily. 3 weeks later, an inquiry comes in. Tom's up a ladder, can't deal with it. Old Tom would have called the customer back at 8 p.m. Half knackered. New Tom? He sends the file to his foreman, or to his girlfriend, wife, or partner, whoever's got a spare hour and half a brain. They gather the info, put together a draft. Tom doesn't do the quote. Tom approves the quote. 5 minutes. Quick read through. Yep, send it. Done. Tom didn't move. Job got handled. That's the difference. That's what a playbook does. It takes the business out of your head and puts it somewhere your team can actually use it. Now let me tell you what this actually buys you over 12 months. Stage 1. In the first 3 months, you're not transformed, but the bleeding stops. Phone rings when you're up a ladder, not a disaster. And Sunday, you're watching football with the people you haven't seen in ages. Know that on Monday, the lads turn up and they're all ready to start. And at 3 a.m., well, you're asleep. Not perfect yet. Just less broken. Stage 2. 6 months in. You're answering more inquiries. You're winning more jobs. You finish jobs cleanly. More work in, more work closed out. Less chasing, same hours. Different direction. Greater payback. Stage 3. 12 months in, and now we're cooking. We've got all the key activities in the playbook, so now you can hire the next bloke. Not because of ambition, because the work is there and the playbook tells him or her what to do, and now you can really afford it. Mistakes go down, rework drops, margin improves. That's how a one-man team becomes an actual business, not by working harder, by having a shape. You didn't need a degree, you didn't need software, you didn't need a consultant. You needed your phone, 5 minutes, and the discipline to do it more than once. That's it. The boring stuff is the unsexy stuff, and the unsexy stuff is what wins. Right? Here's your job this week. I'm not going to ask you to write a manual. I'm not going to ask you to disappear into apps for 6 months. I'm not going to send you a link to a course. Tomorrow, on a job, take your phone out. Pick one task. Just one. Something only you do. Something that lives in your head. Maybe it's how you walk a customer round to do a quote. Maybe it's how you brief the lads first thing on a Monday. Maybe it's how you check a finish before signing it off. Maybe it's how you handle a customer who's gone quiet on you for 3 weeks. Pick one. Film yourself doing it. Talk through it like you're teaching an apprentice on his first day. Speak normally. No script. Cover 5 things. What the task is. Why it matters. The order you do it in. What usually gets missed. What good looks like at the end. That's it. 5 minutes. One task. Then, name it, save it, share it. Name the file something obvious. How we quote. How we hand over a job. How we brief the lads on Monday. Save it somewhere you can actually find it when you need to start sharing it with your future team. That's it. Your first playbook entry. Not perfect, not polished, real. And real beats perfect every time. Now, here's the bit that actually changes your year. The next day, do another one, and then another. Driving? Record a task for the playbook. On a ladder? Record a task for the playbook. Eating lunch? Record, at least one a day. A week from now, 5 entries. A month? 30? A year? Your whole business in a folder, and actually use them. Stop showing the team how to do things. Send them the file. At the start, it may seem to take more time, but they'll have it forever, and it will take less time. If you get them to make videos and send them back, you'll be firing on all cylinders. Leicester didn't win because they had the best squad. They had shape, discipline, a playbook. Pick one task, record it, then do another tomorrow. That's your first team sheet. 5,000 to 1 outsiders don't win leagues by working harder. They win because everyone knows their job. Stick with this series, and within a few episodes, you'll uncover hours a week you've been leaking without realizing it. Reinvest those hours into the systems we show you, and you'll save even more. Keep doing that, and you'll stop being the bottleneck. Then you start building something that doesn't need you at the center of it. More jobs, better margin. The next hire. Time back. A business that runs. That's the prize. We're not charging you a penny for this. The price is simple. Like, subscribe. Your move.